Hello. We are going to talk about today exclusive things that you can do or go to while you are in Disneyland. Now, when I say exclusive, what I'm saying is really expensive and hard to get into. So I have 6 things. 6 things that I want to talk about today. 6 with exclusivity in mind. So some of these things you kind of have to know somebody. You have to be a friend of a friend in order to get into them. Or you could just have a crap load of money. And then bam, you can pull it off. So the number 6 thing that I want to talk about is fairy tale weddings. You can get married in Disneyland. That's right. Right in front of the castle, it can happen. What they usually do is they have a company that you'd have to go through with Disneyland called Fairy Tale Weddings. The cost is between $5,000 and $15,000 or more, depending on what you want to do. You can be the bride can be carried in on a Cinderella carriage, like in the little pumpkin looking thing, not pumpkin, but obviously the carriage. And you can be married in front of the castle. What usually happens is you have to do it after the park is closed or really early in the morning before the park even opens. And you can get married right then and there. It's a pretty neat experience. They actually on Disney Plus have a whole thing called Fairy Tale Weddings, and it goes through different people that get married in Disneyland or Disney World. And you can get married in the hotels or whatever, but you can also get married right there in front of the castle. So that's my number 6, Fairy Tale Weddings at Disneyland. Another wonderful thing is the number 5, which is the Disney Dream Suite. Now, not a lot of people know about this because it is almost impossible to stay in the Disney Dream Suite. There is a hotel room above Pirates of the Caribbean, and it is incredibly exclusive. People are invited to stay there. So people that have stayed there include Johnny Depp, the actor for Olaf, a lot of movie stars, but not a lot, like just movie stars that have stayed there. Sometimes they'll do a giveaway and regular folks like us can get an opportunity to stay there. They also will sometimes, if there's a cast member that has worked for Disney for years and years and years, they will give them a night there to stay. So it's not necessarily something that you would pay for. It is something that you would kind of be invited to or win. But getting to stay in this Disney Dream Suite, it's insane. You can watch the fireworks from the balcony at night. You get to stay in a magical room where there's like magical things happening on the ceiling or on the walls. Like it's got all the Disney goodness. You can look it up. It's insane. It's beautiful. It's phenomenal. I would die if I ever got to stay there. They have an amazing tub and all this like crazy stuff, like things going on with the lights. It's amazing. So the Disney Dream Suite, that's my number 5. It would be amazing to stay there. Very hard to get into. Number 4 is called the 21 Royal. So also in New Orleans Square above Pirates of the Caribbean ride, they have a place that you can eat in a large party. And it's a meal and it's crazy expensive, kind of by invite only. They will valet drive you from the Disneyland Hotel inside of California Adventure. So they'll take you by car, they'll pick you up, they'll take you over there, take you in through the back so that you can have this meal. You'll have, and it's kind of like a walk-through area. So you'll be in this one area and they'll give you cocktails and then they'll come into this big, beautiful dining room and they'll give you multiple meals. As far as I know, you're not allowed to film while you are there. I think you can take pictures, but they don't want anyone taking film of the food because it is so fancy and exclusive and very expensive. So 21 Royal, fancy meal at a dining room table. So that's my number 4. My number 3 is the Disney VIP private tours. So this is sometimes you might see, if you actually see this, you'll see cast members in plaid clothes, red plaid. You have to have, the most I think you can have is 10 people and at least 7 hours. And pretty much what it is like a fast pass with a person. But like to the next level, they will take you to the front of every single line on rides. They will, if you have a ride share and you have a smaller child, they'll stay with the smaller child. I've seen that, like on Matterhorn, they stayed with the young kids and played games with them while the family went on the ride. They'll stand in line. The Plaid cast member will stand in line for popcorn or for treats, that sort of thing. But it is really expensive, like super expensive. My brother-in-law is bent. He wants to do it, like get a big group together and all pitch in, which would be awesome, but it's just so much money. But it would be really cool. But that's not as exclusive. That's more just, you have to fork up quite a bit of money, and you have to kind of follow guidelines of how many hours. It has to be at least 7 and a minimum or a maximum of 10 people in your group. But it's a neat experience to be able to get to the front of line for everybody. They pretty much will just take care of you. They'll give you private tours. It's super neat. So that is my number 3 Disney private VIP tours. Number 2 is what I'm wearing, the Club 33. So Club 33 is an exclusive club. They don't let that many people in every year, like not a lot. It's a, just to get, if you are allowed to be brought in, I think it's like $25,000 to join and be a member of the Club 33. Club 33 is like a restaurant and a bar that's, once again, in New Orleans Square above Pirates of the Caribbean area. They kind of separate it a little bit. If you are an actual member, they have places for you to go if you're an actual Club 33 member up, and it's upstairs. So I had the opportunity to go. The reason I had the opportunity to go is because of a friend of a friend. So my husband worked with a guy, his parents were members. Their membership fee is like 10 grand a year. And that's not entrance into the park. That's not food in the restaurant. Like, it's so expensive, but super cool. Like super cool. Like, I was blowing my mind getting an opportunity to go there. So you go in, and I, of course, was in my motorized scooter, so I just parked that where they allowed me to, and then they invite you into this beautiful little veranda area with the wraparound staircase, and my family got to take pictures on there. The cast members are there. They'll take pictures for you. They give you a hot towel to, like, open your pores. I don't know. I'm not fancy. I was just feeling like, wow, this is snazzy. I don't understand what we're doing, but I like it. And then they take you upstairs to the restaurant, and you kind of have, it's not an a la carte, but it's like, okay, what do you want for your first entree, like a salad, a soup, or, you know, you have like a group of choices. Same with the group of choices for the entree, and then a group of choices to choose from for the dessert. So it's a multiple course meal. My daughter came with us, so she was a child, and they had a child version, which was great because it hit her needs a lot differently. Like, they had mac and cheese but like Mickey mac and cheese. Super neat. You're allowed to take pictures. I don't think they wanted videos. You cannot take pictures of the bathrooms, and the bathrooms are super cool. So I see why people are wanting to. They're just like super decorative and ornate. The women's is all floral and that sort of thing. The men's is like dark and rustic and lots of leather going on. At least I asked the boys that, because I was like, guys, tell me what it's like. Movie stars are there because they are. My son's friend went there, and so my son's friend went there and texted him later and said Harrison Ford was here. But you're not allowed to take pictures or videos, obviously, of these famous people because they're there trying to enjoy the day as well. So the Club 33, you can also, like, I took pictures of all the art. There's tons of Disneyland art inside there. Like, just hidden Mickey things, like all the stuff that I just love, the history and that sort of thing. So I could take pictures of all that, which I did. Like, I was dying over that. You can also buy souvenirs. So I bought a beautiful ring from them. My daughter got a cute little mirror. I can't remember what my son got, but we all got something. And then I asked if I could get a Spirit jersey. They didn't have ears. Otherwise, I would have gotten ears, but that's the experience. One thing to know with that experience is, once you are done, you are done. So we were like, oh, shoot, we wish we'd bought this. They're like, your experience is over. So thanks for a lot of money, because it was not cheap to eat there, but it was a really neat once in a lifetime kind of experience. I wouldn't want to drop that kind of money on a meal again, because it was a lot, but it was something that I've always wanted to do and never thought I would be able to do. So super cool. Okay, number 1 is the Walt Disney apartment tour. You may not know this, but above the fire station in the Main Street area, but above the fire station, you might see a light in the window that's always on. That is actually Walt Disney's apartment. He was in the park so much, he said, we need to build me an apartment for me and my wife because I'm going to be here so much. And it's a very simple apartment. It's a studio apartment. It has like a bed, like a little, not even a kitchenette, like a toaster oven kind of a thing. He just kept it super simple. I think one of the couches folded out, or they just used it as a bed when people came to stay. But you can exclusively find a way to get invited to get a tour of this. I think it costs money as well, obviously. And they will give you a tour of this beautiful historic place that is still in existence. There's a fire pole that went down from the apartment into the fire station, which originally was open so that Walt just thought it would be fun sometimes if you ever wanted to. I don't know if he ever did, but like go down the fire pole from his apartment. They ended up walling that up because while he was in there one time, a little boy climbed up and waved at him and he was like, oh, okay, wall that puppy up. So that is my number 1, the Walt Disney apartment tour. If you can think of or know of any other exclusive, hard to get into, hard to things. I mean, there's so many fun things that you can do that's, you know, part of the package deal of going to Disneyland, but just knowing about these little golden gems is neat to me to just like know, like, oh, maybe aspire to it someday. Because this was once in a lifetime. I was bawling by the time I left because it was just so phenomenal, because someone that's such a Disney geek, to be able to be immersed in that was an amazing experience. So if you know of any more, comment in the comments below, like and subscribe, and I will come up with more fun things to learn about Disneyland.